Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Fed Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading, and today is January 23rd, 2025, and today is Thursday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, we're watching Amazon rally to new all-time record highs, but first looking at today's major economic events. So 3:30 South African time. Out of Canada, we have retail sales numbers coming out. Now looking at the market, starting with the Forex symbols, the euro holding on to its gains versus the US dollar. And as we shift over to the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ both rally higher. Now looking at commodities, natural gas gets a huge gap down this morning. And looking at the stock, it's NVIDIA and Microsoft that rally big to the upside as well. And lastly, look at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin retracing and fading back to 100K. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. First with the Euro USD, we got a bounce and we're holding on to it. And that's what I'm talking about right now. We're at 104.04. Now the question is whether or not this is going to be a new footing, at least for here, okay? Whether or not this is going to be resistance and we're going to go back down to our lows. So that is yet to be seen. Looking at the GBP USD, did hold on to its gains, not as much, but it did hold on to its gains, and so did the Canadian dollar. As you can see, it's really consolidating at this area. Now jumping into commodities, look at natural gas, a big, huge, big gap down from 399 down to 347. That's a big gap down for natural gas. Question is whether or not we're going to fill this gap, okay, later today, all right? But that is as extreme as you get. I mean, that's over 15 to 17% overnight, just holding that position, you know, with that massive gap down. Now looking at gold, still strong here at the upper realm. Okay, we're looking at daily. If we look at a 4-hour chart, it did retrace. Now looking at crude oil, also did retrace as well back to its 200-day moving average on a daily, and we're sitting there right now. So this possibly could be a good place for us to bounce. Now looking at the NASDAQ, a big rally, and it did gain yesterday a nice amount, and so did the Dow Jones, okay, on its upper realm here. However, looking at the individual stocks, this is where it gets really interesting because there were a couple of stocks that just stood out. Amazon hitting all-time record highs yesterday, 234, and also Netflix having a big gap up, a huge gap up also to 990, but did sell off at the open right after. So we may get a fill in the gap, and that's a significant gap. That's over $130 gap up. I mean, Netflix is on fire. I mean, it is going so aggressively up. And looking at Microsoft also, nice rally to the upside. Everybody is AI generated with Trump's current proposal. So everybody's really fixated with that as well. And as we look at NVIDIA, also a big gain yesterday, 145. And lastly, let's take a look at Bitcoin because this is where it becomes very interesting. We retraced. We had our spike. And I said this, we have a spike, we're going to have a fade. And sure enough, that's exactly what we had. Now, what's different about the stocks vis-a-vis Bitcoin is that the stocks are holding themselves up. There's continuation. Whereas with Bitcoin, it's just these spikes. And then we get the fade that follows it as well. So keep that in mind as this is still a very choppy market for cryptos. And we'll see how it still unfolds. This is Fed Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.